Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Edith Wolek,
Welcome.
the host of this
Wow.
event, founder of Empress Media, brand leadership and creative agency. I help women entrepreneurs create humanity-centered personal brands that attract high-value clients with ease, resulting in financial flow. Welcome to this magnificent International Women Lead, the fourth event of this year. How to accelerate business, finances, and relationships. Ladies, get ready because you are about to ignite something powerful in you. Our speakers are here not just to deliver value, but to shake your vision awake, activate your courage, and fuel the fire that's been waiting inside of you. This isn't a sit back and take notes event. This is a full body yes experience designed to elevate your mindset, your money, your relationships, so you can rise to a whole new level of success. You are stepping into a space of unstoppable energy, ambition, and heart. A space where breakthroughs happen, confidence expands, and new possibilities become your new reality. So, because business deserves because your business deserves momentum, your finances deserve flow, your relationship deserve depth. So you will find out high impact strategies to accelerate your business with unshakable confidence. So I would love to welcome to a stage our first speaker. Let's give us some drum rolls. I would love I would love Gwen to take a first seat at the table.
Okay, let's go. I'm so honored to be here. I love to be on panels and share vision and connect with people and inspire. And the reason I am here is to radiate freedom, connection, and love. So today, I want to introduce myself. I'm a tantric leadership coach, which means that I bring leadership with tantra together. And the reason why I do that is because I believe when we are really leaning into our fullest potential, then we get to create connection with three parts in our life. One part is our home, which means the people we love, the vision we have for that, ourself, like self-care, self-love. This part is our home, where we land, where we can be who we are, where we can develop our authenticity and feel safe. The other part, which is for me an extension of that home, is your work. When you can do something to provide for your family, to provide for your lifestyle, to provide for a fulfilling lifestyle that elevates your ambition, then work is a place where you spend a lot of time on a daily basis. So that these two get to connect, you get to create something that elevates both of it. And we see often in our society that we try to push things into one area, or our home gets to fit into our business or our career, or our career gets to fit into our home, which is lifestyle. And in my awareness, it's very important to have connection with both, because lifestyle for me is home and work or career business. But when you lack your spirituality, when you lack connection with a deeper meaning of purpose, of inner peace, then we get caught up in running behind money, running behind time, running to serve other people's agenda, draining our energy, draining our passion, we drain our purpose, and we put our dreams in the closet. So for me, Tantra is a way to really connect with the essence of who you are, and a strategy. For me, it's the oldest, wisest leadership strategy there is in the world, because it's ancient and it's of all times, because it includes the wisdom of the mind, it includes the wisdom of the body, and it includes the wisdom of the soul. And when you bring that together with leadership, which is actually also a way of how you show up in the world, how you lead by example, how you position. And when we see that leadership traditionally in a business is predominantly coming from how can we get results, how can we create the outcome we want, and sometimes it goes with a high price. A price of having a beautiful, loving, connected relationship with yourself, with your spouse, with your children, with everything. And when you bring tantric leadership, when you bring Tantra and leadership together, you receive a beautiful blend, because most people think Tantra is all about sexuality and stuff like that. But in essence, Tantra is about intimacy. And I'm not talking about sexual intimacy. It's about intimacy with your soul, intimacy with your life, intimacy with the people you love, you care about, also intimacy with the way you grow as a person and the way you radiate your vision and your mission and your purpose and your achievements, to be abundant, to feel free, to feel fulfilled and engaged. So this is the reason I chose to take a bold step and bring Tantra and leadership together, because this is in this area, in what is happening in the world right now. The one thing that the world needs is a heart. And that is where Tantra is landing all the beautiful pieces together. Now, when we do that, it also means that we get to be very strategic in the way we build our lifestyle and see where we can land our dreams, our purpose, our people, our passion, our planet coming together. Because business wouldn't be business if it's not because of the people who are running the business. And we cannot be leaders if we don't have a team to lead. And if we don't have a team to lead, nothing will happen. We will not create anything. And when we create something, when we create a business, we do product development, we build a house, whatever we do, it all starts with an idea. And having that idea, it can stay an idea if we do not come with an intention to act upon that idea. So we have a lot of people who say, someday I want to, but the way they live their life, the way they do their daily activities, they do not have a focus on their someday. They have a focus on running to crush time, which will never happen, because you're always behind if you don't live in the present moment and when you don't radiate and operate from that present moment. Because when we see in Tantra, we see that time collapses when we are in alignment. Time collapses when we are present, because the future and the past, is one split second away. Every second we have a new future, but in the same time, every second we have a new past, which means the only way to operate coming from fulfillment and joy and feeling safe is being in the present moment. And this is so important to lead your leadership coming from that space. And not only in the boardroom, not only as the leader of your company or as an entrepreneur or having being part of a bigger team, but also at home. Bring your leadership at home, because the way you tick, your home ticks. The way you show up, your children show up. The way you show up, your spouse shows up. Your family shows up. And when there is a disconnect in that place, we can try to solve it outside of ourselves, blame, shame, guilt, whatever it is, or we just can come to our senses and see, how am I causing and creating? How am I causing and creating this situation? And where is my part in the disconnect? And when we start in Belgium, we say a thing like, wanneer iedereen voor zijn eigen deur keert, blijft alles proper. And it means when everybody cleans his own door, in front of his own door, every stays clean. And that's so important, to always look at ourselves before we start to pinpoint to other people. And this is where the tantric leadership moves the needle. For me, in my life, Tantra is a very big part, because at some point I had really big challenges with my health. I had challenges in my marriage. I had challenges as a parent. I had challenges financially in my business. At some point, I lost all my money that I invested. And then you get to pivot. And while having an autoimmune disorder, which said like, okay, you have approximately 10 years to go before you start to decline and die. For me, it was a choice like, no, 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 no. I get to level up, because I have a mission in my life. I have a passion in my life. I am a mom and I want to make a difference. So there is no excuse for me to not put effort in my health, not put effort in my well-being, not put effort in my vision and creating that vision. So for me, when I see in my past, I tried several things in my life and I failed miserably in my first business. I failed miserably in my second business. And at that point, I was actually ashamed to have that, failure. But that failure gave me a gift. It made me resilient. It made me connecting with my values, my standards, my vision, and it gave me the power to stand up again and choose me, choose my vision, choose my mission and my purpose. And in my awareness, we all have our challenges in life. We all have, because life is always coming to us in mysterious ways. And instead of feeling devastated because of the challenges we have in our life, we can see the light as a gift. It's a gift when we have challenges in our lives, because it makes us become who we are today. It makes us better. It makes us smarter. It makes us stronger. It makes us connected, because when you have a challenge, then you also discover the people who support you, who believe in you, who trust you. And you also discover the people who are just there to distract you, waste your time, and not coming in with the love that you need in that moment. And when you discover the people that really are there to guide you, support you, and to believe and push you, this is the moment you get to connect and allow them to support you to move forward. Because behind any success, there is a massive chaos. But when we are resilient enough to step over all the hurdles, this is where the magic happens, and this is where we can lead ourselves in who we are today. So that's my share. There, maybe there's some inspiration over there. Maybe I inspired a person. So,
And if you would like to drop your info or a gift in the chat, that would be amazing. And
yes, I will do that.
choose a speaker to speak next.
Yes, because I have something interesting. I have my personal AI coach. So anybody who talks with that AI coach talks to me, because all my inspiration is in there. And I will put that link into the chat. And I'd love to share the word with, let's see. We have two Danielles in the room, right? So
We have
let's
Daniela
go
and
to
Danielle.
Danielle.
I can
It's
go
on
there.
you.
Me, Gwen?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And oh my gosh, so wonderful not only to be here with all of these powerful women, but also to follow my coach. So Gwen was my coach on this beginning of my journey to fulfillment. And so, so incredible. So thank you, Edith, for hosting this. And there are so many powerful leaders that I'm so blessed to have in my life. And I'm excited to meet so many of you. So I am Danielle Longano, and I want to ask you a question. Okay. How many of you have been doing all the things, checking the boxes, and still there's something missing? You don't feel fulfilled. You've done everything right in your life, and yet there's still something missing. Has anybody felt this way on your journey? Yeah. Now look around the room, okay? Something missing. And this was how I felt for a long time. I said, I'm living the dream, but there's something still missing. I'm doing it all right, and there's still something missing. So this set me on a path of fulfillment. And this path has been steep and rocky at places and a dream in other places where it's a meadow and I'm just floating through the meadow. And I'm grateful for all of the journey, the steep and rocky places where I stumbled, I fell, I skinned a knee, and to walk hand in hand, collaborating with fellow leaders like yourselves. And my mission, because of this journey, is to inspire others to do what inspires them and create that fulfillment in your life so that you feel full on your journey. And there is no destination. So if I'm going to pop a bubble for y'all, there ain't no destination. Okay. I get that constantly. Tell me how. How do I get there? They want the roadmap. They want the blueprints. Okay, so there is no destination because as soon as you get to one layer, guess what? Another layer reveals itself. You are ready for that next layer, and it hasn't presented itself because you weren't ready. And I have students in this room that I have followed their journey, and it has been incredible to see the shifts and where they're going. And I have this amazing ability, it's like a sixth sense that I've developed of seeing the greatness in everybody and revealing it by being a mirror to people. So, not giving people the answers, okay? The answers are within each one of us. Everything we need is inside of us. And it's holding that space so that you can see that greatness. I know for me, had Gwen not stood for me and saw my greatness, I would not be here today. So I'm grateful for that. And that is my mission, is for you all to see your greatness. And I have had mentees and students that just want to shake me and say, give me the answer. I don't have the answer for you. I just have really great questions. Okay. So I have developed the fulfillment journey, and it is a process, a journey to fulfillment so that you feel filled up inside. And what I've discovered is that there are four requisites for change. And those four requisites for change start with letting go of your baggage. Hello. We cannot build if we don't let go of what no longer serves us. So, my journey has led me to become a master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming, which supports in releasing that baggage, letting go of negative emotions and limiting beliefs. So it's like tending your garden. If you just go out and pull the root or the weed out from the top, guess what? It's going to grow back. So how many times in your life have you thought you got to the problem and then it presents itself in another way? Anyone have that? You're like, dang it, I thought I got this. Well, I am here to support you in going deeper, getting to the roots of that weed and pulling it out lovingly. Okay? Because at one point, our ego is there to protect us and protected us from something that we needed protection from, that we no longer need that protection from. So it's going with the unconscious mind to release that, to tell the unconscious mind it's okay to let go of that negative emotion, limiting belief, whatever it is. So that's the first requisite for change. The second one is having a goal, having a vision. How many people don't even have a vision? I know I didn't a few years ago. I was like, what the heck is a vision? Huh? What? Okay. So it's creating a goal and something that is measurable, something that is attainable in a certain amount of time. So a SMART goal. So once we develop a SMART goal, then it's being in committed action. Because how many times do you meet people or yourself? You're like, oh, I have this great idea, but you're not in committed action. So I call that a fantasy, a fantasy. So it's being in that committed action and having the support and accountability to fulfill that goal. So I know I will always put myself last. I'll put everybody else first, their goals, their dreams. I will support, I will do whatever it takes to be a cheerleader for them. And meanwhile, my website isn't complete. My program isn't polished. So I get to support you and myself. And so I have coaches that support me in completing my stuff. Okay. So it's having that support, that structure that accountability, and focused on the positive, on that goal. Okay, so it is a four-step process, and I use NLP in hypnosis to ground you from an unconscious level to get you to your goals. And it might not look anything like you thought it was going to look. So it's letting go of that. Expectations. Hello, I got to let go of a lot of expectations in my life and go to intention. When I have intention and then committed action, I'm going to generate results. So it is a very simple process. We all know this, yet not easy. And it's breaking through a lot. So for 369 days, which I know that number is very significant, 369 days, I did not have water at my house. Okay. Many of you have known this, and you're like, how do you live without water? Oh, I can figure out a way. Okay. And until I got uncomfortable enough, because we all live in this 4 to 6 comfort zone. Okay. How many times are we super comfortable in this 4 to 6 range? And then all of a sudden a year goes by. Hello. And we haven't created what we committed to creating. So, how many people made declarations on January 1st, 2025, and have not fulfilled them? Yeah. Yeah. So many of us. So we still have 2.5 months, not even 2 months and 5 days to complete whatever we committed to on January 1st. Okay, so I am going to drop a link into the chat with a 30-day goals and gratitude challenge. You can choose this challenge at any time. And what I've learned is that when I focus on gratitude, I'm a magnet. And so in July, I wanted something big enough that I committed to being willing to pay some prices, some big prices I wasn't willing to pay. And literally, I generated water like this. Okay. So when you're willing to pay some prices to create the life that you're committed to living, the life of your dreams, you become a magnet. And let me tell you, I got to break through so much to get there. So I am here to support you. I'm going to drop this link in the chat. Please reach out. You can book an appointment through the website, through the link, and enjoy this 30-day goals and gratitude. And on December 31st, 2025, I want to celebrate with you what you accomplished, what you completed that you said, "Oh my gosh, I'll reset that goal for 2026." And then imagine where you get to go in 2026. So thank you all for being here today and allowing me this space. And I'm going to drop that link right now.
Thank you, Danielle. That was super powerful and impactful, and supportive. Thank you for your wisdom, sharing your wisdom and your knowledge of your leadership. Thank you. Who are you choosing to go next?
I am choosing Carrie. Let's go, Carrie.
Thank you so much, Danielle. And what a powerful look at the energy and the inspiration and the wisdom in this room. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. There's so much energy here. And I am very honored to be here. Thank you, Edith, for having the vision for this and being committed to the fourth time this year in 2025, inviting women in and being a pure giving and generosity. If you don't know me, my name is Carrie Knudsen, and I am a transformational leadership and business coach. And my vision is to empower 1 million leaders to be powerful communicators and for you to discover your true authentic self and lead with courage in a world filled with AI. There's nothing wrong with AI, yet courage is something that I stand for, and I didn't always have. I didn't always have. So Courage Global Magazine is something that I align with. Thank you, Edith. And peace, peace, peace. I think we see right here, right now. How many countries, I'm curious how many countries we're representing here today with just our panel, not even the attendees watching or watching the replay. I would love to see where you're from. I live in the United States in Oregon, but I really see that this whole experience here is peace is representing peace is possible. We're creating it right here with all the different beliefs and backgrounds and experiences, yet we can come together and co-create something so powerful where we're leading with heart and our courage instead of fear. So thank you. The question here today is, how do we accelerate business, finances, and relationships? Let's start with the truth that every woman in business eventually learns. There are moments when you just don't feel ready, right? Sometimes I don't feel ready. There are moments where you're questioning yourself. Have you ever questioned yourself, your vision, even your worth? And yet you still take that next step. You put out the offer, you make that call, you speak your truth from stage, perhaps with your knees shaking or your voice trembling. I know that I was there back in 2018, that first podcast I ever was on. I was terrified. Yet that's not confidence, it's courage. You will expand your confidence to the level that you expand your courage. So confidence is important, but I know after working with hundreds and even thousands of entrepreneurs every single day, they're waiting to be confident to step forward, to launch the offer, to have the website ready, to share the lead magnet, and they're waiting for the wrong thing. Because courage precedes confidence. And in 2018, I found myself as a new entrepreneur. I was leaving a career. I had left a career of 20 years. And I was a newly graduate of college at the ripe age of 41 with a degree in positive psychology and human behavior. And I was taking a leap. I declared that I was an entrepreneur. I did not have confidence in being an entrepreneur. I actually had no idea what it was, really what I was going to do, yet there was courage. I also found myself in a brand new city and state. I knew no one. I had no family within like 900 miles. That's like over a thousand kilometers. And there was something, a whisper in my heart and a whisper in my soul. And it was saying, yes. And I know that you have this too in certain areas of your life. That's courage. Confidence says, I think I can. Courage is that whisper. It says, even if you are not sure, you must. You must. Who has had that experience? I know that I've had that experience several times in my life where the choice I was making did not make sense. It did not fit into logic. Confidence is mental. It's logical. It confines into your conscious mind. Yet courage Courage is a spiritual experience. And what I refer to as the superconscious journey. It's intuitive. It's the language of the soul, I believe. Um, I'm just curious if you've had these experiences. Say yes in the chat where your choice did not make logical sense. Yet you knew you had this whisper of, what if this is my calling? What if it's gonna work out? Courage has you leap without really knowing where you're going. So I want to dive into Ada said absolutely yes. I'm sure there's some others here that are saying yes too. Crystal said yes, yes, yes. We've all had these experiences, and I want you to be reminded and aware that you've had so many experiences where you led with courage and you didn't have the confidence. Confidence comes later. So I want to dive into a little bit of the science of our brains and how we make choices, because we do have three parts of our mind. It's the conscious, which is 5%, and many of you know this, the 95%, which is subconscious or unconscious. I use those words interchangeably. And then we have what I refer to as the superconscious. This is what doesn't fit into logic. This is where courage comes from. Really, all three combined. Yet it starts really in your superconscious, and then the subconscious, and then the unconscious. So there's much neuroscience into the conscious mind and even the subconscious mind, hypnosis, and we're finally quantifying in science subconscious, the conscious mind, and even the superconscious mind. That's part of the reason why I studied psychology back in the 1990s, and it just didn't feel right. It's because there was a restriction. We weren't actually proving these multi-levels of your consciousness. So I could go into this forever because I just love diving into the mind. Yet every woman who's built something meaningful knows you didn't start because you felt confident. You started your business, you started taking steps because your soul wouldn't quiet. It wouldn't quiet. Courage is those of us who left the job or the dream career. Who did that? Say me in the chat. I know I did. Courage is the woman who finally raised her prices and didn't feel confident yet. And courage is also you who are standing in your truth with the risk of being judged or unliked or ostracized because you were being courageous. It's the moment you stop negotiating with yourselves. Who negotiates with themselves? I know I do. It's when you say, I will no longer shrink to fit into some old model or some idea or some belief that wasn't even mine to begin with. Confidence is the reward that comes after the courage. It's your birthright. You had courage long before you even had words for it. That's the beautiful thing about when we lead from this place of being courageous. So every time you choose courage, you are stretching your whole identity. You're stretching the possibility. You expand what you believe you're capable of holding: more impact, more visibility, more wealth, more truth, more of your own truth. I think that this is part of our mission, I believe, is to uncover who we really are. And that's part of my vision, to spark your true authentic self, because your business will grow to the capacity that you grow your level of courage. not just confidence. So as we know, we don't think our way into being courageous. We feel our way into being confident through courage. Courage is the first investment, and then your return on investment is confidence. We get to have both. You get to have both. So today I want to impart to you to have the courage to lead in this world filled with AI, because there's a lot of fear around, there's a lot of fear in the world, and there's a lot of uncertainty and fear, I believe, around AI. And we can lead this way through really connecting with our superconscious. That's soul alignment. It's not about perfection. Perfection is going to really get it right. It's going to make us, or it's going to make us superhuman. But my intention is for you to connect with your superconscious, which is your soul, and lead with that. Because people don't follow perfection. They follow you, your authenticity, your energy. They follow women who lead with soul truth. So I know that I've had moments in business where I didn't feel confident at all, launching that new offer, being on stage, making bold decisions. It was sacred every time I chose from courage. And I know that you've had this experience too. You move anyway through it, not because you have all the answers, but because you have clarity in your soul journey. And so that's really what I help clients with, is to understand these three levels. And I've coached I've coached all different types of people from all different types of models. And part of what I feel like part of the coaching models that don't work. Who's had coaching or programs and you're like, oh my God, I'm still the same person. I'm still running the same programs. It's because we're creating from the conscious, uncovering we're creating from the conscious, uncovering the subconscious, and missing out on the superconscious. So the way that I lead and connect with clients is we first connect with the superconscious and then work downward to the subconscious and then the consciously create. So I am taking women business owners through a 4-week journey of what we refer to as the Akashic Records. And it really is connecting with your superconscious, your soul. And not just your soul, but the soul of your business. You have a soul, and your business actually has its own superconscious soul energy. That's fire. Okay, thanks, Marguerite. I was reading the chat. So if you would like to take a 4-week journey into connecting deeper and leading with your soul, leading through courage, and then having the confidence, you get to have both. You can message me on Instagram, which I'll drop the link, and put an A. Put an A if you're curious. Maybe it's even the first time you've heard the Akashic Records and you want to know more. That's really what this 4-week journey is. It's what are they? What are mine? What is the messages? Where have I been leading from fear? And I get to shift to courage. Thank you so much for this time and this opportunity to connect and creating peace and love and heart in our lives and businesses. That's when we will co-create and transform the world. Margarita, you are next. I was asking myself, who is next? Margarita, come to the stage.
Hi, thank you, Carrie. Oh my God, I've been taking so many great notes already with so many powerful women here. So I just want to thank Edith for her courage to put this on as often as she has, with as busy as she is expanding her journey as she's elevating herself and the world. So for me, it's been quite a journey. But before we dive into strategy or structure, I just want to dive into something that's even more important and sacred. It's one breath. So let's just pause right now and put our hands in our heart and just kind of land in this moment. Inhale, possibility. Hold it at the top. And as you exhale, exhale all the pressure, pressure to perform, to be perfect, to get it right. And I think I needed that more than all of you. So thank you for joining me in that breath. It always really helps me be grounded in the present moment. And I think Gwen said it so beautifully about being present is the one space that you can really slow down time. And I feel like I came to that intuition, that knowing, because I realized that the present moment is the only now that we have. Um, so I want you to remember that you are the business. You are the brand, as I learned from Edith when she was on my Spark class. And that just was like, you're right. I had never heard it that way. And maybe I had, and maybe I knew. But that's why it's so important to get in these rooms, because you will hear something, or the way someone says something, or maybe you were just open in that moment to hear it because you heard it 1,000 times and it finally landed. So it's so important to be really surrounding yourself with people elevating themselves, people who are showing up big, being courageous to get it wrong and to fumble around along the way and just say it's okay because there's a lesson there. And I think once you become so and grounded in your vision within the intention, like I remember, I didn't even know how I was going to do a podcast or even a master class, but I knew, like during the LA fires, for instance, I just knew I wanted to serve, and I was physically going to help and donating and spending time to help people in the trauma centers. But I felt like I wanted to do more, like I could do more. And I was so enrolled in my vision to support in such a grand scale that I like want in 24 hours, I was like, I'm going to do this. It's going to be for 2 weeks, and where I'm going to get people to come in. I didn't know who was going to be a yes, but I was so committed to the vision that I didn't even feel like I was doing anything courageous. I just leaned in so powerfully, and everything opened up. And it was so beautiful that when you really just lean in and trust and surrender to the vision, things start opening up for you and synchronicities happen. And that is what I want to come here to tell you. It's intention, is what somebody else said. 100% is everything. Your intention is 100% what you create. So be mindful of what you're thinking, what you're saying, the stories you're constantly telling, because one way or another, whether you believe it or not, you're co-creating that to be true in your life. So when I say that you're your brand, that's what I mean. Exactly. You energize and magnetize everything that you desire, whether it's something you want or don't want. So for years, I believe success meant doing more, right? I think we all felt like we got to sacrifice more, we got to hustle more, we got to prove that we can do it all by ourselves. If we ask for help, that means that we are weak and we can't figure it out, right? And then I realized when I got in the room with these beautiful women, and I became aware of what I didn't know and how I was doing self-sabotaging. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so everything shifted for me in that moment. And I realized that I needed to stop chasing that vision. I needed to just align with my goals and my values, and my vision became clear. Because prosperity isn't something that we run after or chase. It's something that we remember. It's our birthright. It's innately who we are. We are abundant just by being. It already lives inside your breath, your body, and your belief. So what are you believing? Are you believing and coming from a space of scarcity? Scarcity sounds like, oh yeah, I'm never going to get that. Oh, I'm not good enough for that. Or everybody else has all this stuff. I need to do that before I'm worthy of it. That's what it sounds like. And abundance says, even if you think that, you finish the sentence by saying, but I'm working every day towards my goal, and I know and I trust it's going to happen. And that's how you can end your spell casting into a positive that is going to support you, and it's going to also help you lean in So the energy is of expansion. And when we speak of prosperity, it's about expanding. And when you're out of alignment, business starts to feel like survival, desperation. But when you move from your soul, your come from is from your being, everything starts to expand. And I'm going to start to call this the soul spark principle. And it's that sacred intersection where intention, intuition, and inspired action come together and meet in harmony. And this is where we shift from fear back into faith. I'm getting full body chills. And we shift from control to creation. When your vibration really matches your vision, abundance doesn't have to be forced. It's just going to flow, just like water. So be like water. Where can you be more like water? Where can you flow? If you're coming up against friction, there's something there that you're a story, a limiting belief that you're coming across, or maybe you're not aligned with that. So just get curious, step back. And when you do, you're going to start to see collaborations unfolding, clients appearing, opportunities opening up for you, relationships that you felt were once a dream and a fairy tale are a possibility. So ask yourself right now, again, are you creating from scarcity or are you creating from sovereignty? Because the energy behind your actions will always be reflected in what you attract. Your alignment is the algorithm. So get smart like AI and figure out your algorithm. Because money isn't the destination, it's the dialogue between you and the divine. And it mirrors how open you are to receive and how deeply you trust and how grounded you are in your worthiness. So I've been learning to see money not as pressure, but as partnership and a sacred conversation of energy and gratitude. Every dollar carries frequency, and every transaction is a transmission. So now what I want to start asking myself, and maybe I'd love to invite you too, to start everything before you even send or receive money, whether it's for coffee, a creative project, or, gas, whatever it is. Pause. Place your hand on your heart and whisper to yourself, may this exchange be infused with light, expansion, and reciprocity. Being of gratitude, even when you're paying bills. Be grateful and gratitude that, oh my gosh, I get to pay this crazy expensive light bill, but I get to have gas and a refrigerator and a light so that I can read to my children at night. So that moment, that turns an ordinary transaction into a ritual of remembrance. And it reminds you that you're not chasing abundance, that you're co-creating it with the universe. So that's what it means to lead with energetic integrity. True prosperity thrives in connection, and it grows in the gardens of sisterhood, collaboration, and community. Your relationships with yourselves, your clients, and your family are reflections of how safe you feel to give and receive love. Ponder that one. I had to sit with that one. Because we don't rise through competition. We rise through co-creation and collaboration. And that's why I love these rooms and I love these women, because we are here about raising and rising together. Because when women gather in authenticity, we amplify each other's light codes and we activate remembrance of who we are and what is possible when we rise together. That's the heart of this summit. And again, it's not about strategy, it's about synergy. Not acceleration, but alignment. So today I invite you to accelerate differently, not through burnout or busyness, but through embodiment. Let your business become your altar, a living, breathing reflection of your soul's purpose. And let your finances be your feedback of faith. And let your relationships remind you that love is the highest currency there is. Connection is currency. Because when a woman remembers her worth, she doesn't chase abundance, she radiates it. And so, what I want to do is gift to you a one on one call with me, and we'll uncover the conversation that is limiting you, or the unworthiness conversation that still plays out in a subconscious way. And then I will gift you a customized EFT tapping script. And tapping is a great way to repattern your nervous system and repattern those habits. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So where you're stopping yourself in your abundance, you're stopping yourself in connection and relationships and yada, yada, yada. So I would love to gift that to you as my promise that you are not a collection of your stories. It does not define who you are. You get to reinvent yourself in this every moment that you live in the now. So choose you, choose prosperity, and choose your soul's purpose, because you're worthy exactly as you are. Thank you. And I will pass it on to Stephanie Bandolini, because I know you get to go, my love. Are you still here? There you are. No, she left.
No, I'm still
All
here.
right,
That was amazing. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Yeah, so I'm going to follow your lead actually and do a little reset. Breathing is obviously vital to everything we do, and I've learned that breathing is not just about, the science of everything, it's about the spirit, because when you breathe, that is our connection, I believe, to God. So I like to do 7-part breathing. Seven is a very powerful spiritual number. I was also born October 7th, so it's my special number. First off, though, I'll say hello. My name is Stephanie Brandolini. It's great to be here with you all. And yeah, let's just do that little reset. So I'll kind of lead it. Let's just like breathe in for 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then hold at the top for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then breathe out for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if it's longer than 7, that's okay because you want to breathe it all out. Yeah, so I am really excited to be here with you all. And what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is fear, and how fear is not something to be afraid of or even run away from or even overcome. It's something that is there for you and is in fact there to fuel you for your next level. And by the way, guys, I'm talking here about the kind of fear, that holds us back, the kind of fear that keeps us from our destiny, not the kind of survival fear you kind of need. This is what I call the roller coaster fear, which honestly will keep you from going on the best adventure of your life. So that's why we get to rewrite it and rise. My brand is all about rising and, kind of having that phoenix from the ashes um, way of being, Biblically, this is a thing too. It's a beauty for ashes, and that's what I want to show you how to do today. Um, and I'll be very honest, this whole system that I've called it, this rewrite fear and rise with my Afur experience was actually downloaded into me. I'm not going to take full credit for this. This came to me when I was actually overcoming a lot of my own fear in entrepreneurship, in speaking, in really sharing the gifts that I have and over like not just overcoming, but using the fear to propel me forward. I was actually preparing for a speaking event when this was downloaded into me because I had my signature talk, Weakness to Warrior, and it shifted as I was revising it because I had a lot of fear coming up. I was like, I'm having fear about coming on stage. Why? And it just came to me. I don't even know. I believe it was God. You can call it the universe, source, whatever your divine higher power is, but it came through me and I've been called to share it because as many of you have touched on today, there's a lot of fear in the world. And I think there's always been fear in the world, but I think right now it's just at that time where it's like heightened and we just see more of it because social media and all the things. So this system, this experience called the Rewrite Fear and Rise with a Fur is my way of helping others find that gold that really lives within the fear. Because, like I said, fear is not really something to overcome, it's something to use as fuel. So, what I do in this experience is take you through these movements, AFER, which is a rewrite of the word fear, right? I'm first and foremost a writer and a storyteller, so I love my acronyms. I love to play with words and use the power of them to propel us forward. Because as someone else was mentioning, I believe it was, I feel like I forget who, you guys have all been talking so greatly, but how words, what you speak out loud, it's very important because words matter because they make matter. So in a fur, we're starting with A. A is the step of acceptance. So, you're going to have a certain fear come up, whatever it is. Like for my example, I was afraid to I was afraid to get on stage. This was months ago, but I was afraid to step on stage and I was like, okay, this is coming up. I've committed to doing this event. I'm going to do it. So, it just came up of this like accepting of it. And that's the first movement. And within the movement of this, there's two moments, and I like my alliteration. So it starts with being aware that this fear is there, and then kind of going outside yourself and admitting that this is not serving, like this fear of like being afraid to share my gifts and stuff. So that you kind of go through those two and then bring in this loving acceptance of whatever it is, whatever this fear is, whatever it's masking. And it's that love that leads us through the whole rest of it. So I'm going to go kind of fast. So when I go through an actual session with someone with this, it's a lot slower. We kind of go through it, but I just wanted to give you an overview of this. So then we get into the F movement, which is facing it. We do have to face the fear always. But it's a fear, it's not so much the fear, it's the part of you that's been hidden within the fear. And I get my clients to visualize this part of you, like who is this that's coming up? It might be like you from childhood, it might be you from yesterday, it might be, I don't know, it'll be whoever comes up. And that's when you really get to face this version of you that's been like lost in the shadows of fear. And facing it, then feeling. You got to feel it to heal it. So feel him or her, what they're really going through, what they need you to feel. Because this fear is coming up, this resistance, this block, whatever it is, because it's calling to you because it's ready to rise. So when you feel it, you can heal it. And then you got to forgive it in this moment. This I'm just going to say her because I'm a woman, so you got to forgive her and forgive yourself. Like this part of you needs to forgive you for suppressing you, because you've likely put this part of you in what I call the basement of your mind. So the forgiveness takes place, that love that we established in the first movement flows us through into my favorite part, which is the embracing movement. So literally, I get people to actually like hug themselves in this moment because you're embracing this part of you that, you know, has maybe held you back, but they've kind of been holding you back for a reason because you're taking part in this too. That's why the whole forgiveness thing had to happen between you and this part of you. But the embracing part is so beautiful. And I get people to visualize like light coming in from all around and light flowing into this version of you. You got to ask permission first. I always ask permission to this part of you. They always give it. But you got to get that permission from your this part of you that has the fear that's been blocking you. And when you're embracing this part of you and letting that light flow in, the light exposes the lies that you have been living under in this fear. Like, for example, for me, as like this fear of speaking, this fear of like, oh, I'm going to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, whatever. I don't even remember exactly because I've let go of it, but it feels so real in the moment. But when you come to this part, it's like, oh my God, that was a lie. A lie I let myself believe for likely way too long. So I kind of have this moment of like imagining there's like a magnet above you and the magnet is like taking out all the lies, exposing them. So we're in E, right? So I like to keep my alliteration of embracing, exposing the lies. And then when you do, there's like, I have this is the most powerful moment I love to do with my clients is the holy exchange of the shadows of fear that you've been like wearing like a cloak, like a shroud of shadows, and exchanging it for this like cloak of sunlit stars that's light, that's like freeing, and you can move in it. A lot of fear restricts movement, and now you get to move within the grace of what you have within you. And it's in this movement, this moment that the real you emerges through the fear. So usually, this is like a spoiler alert kind of thing. It's usually the opposite. Like, I was afraid to get on stage, I was afraid to speak. Turns out I'm pretty good at it. Turns out I'm pretty good at connecting with people, but I used to be afraid of those things. It's so crazy. Um, and for you, for anyone, it's often that opposite. That heart looks really cool right there. Um, so yeah, then we get into the R movement, which is all about rising. So now you get to rise with this part of yourself. And there's like an integration part that happens where you integrate this like exposed part of you, the part of you that really the true you that has emerged. And in the R movement, I bring in the act of repentance, which the word repent, I used to think that was a bad thing, like a guilt thing. But I bring some fun into this of like, oh my God, how silly was it that I believed that? Like, I'm so sorry I ever believed whatever lie it was. And it brings this lightness and this fun of like, it's not a regret that you have believed it for so long. It's not a waste of time that you were stuck in that. It's this divine moment that you have gone through these moments of accepting, facing, and embracing, and now repenting for it and releasing, like really releasing it. And I get, and after the repentance part, I get people to like really do like a physical movement of like letting it go, like even dancing around, like fully like let it go physically. And like this is also bringing in fun to it. Like I had this really awesome teacher who brought in a lot of dance, and I'm like, if you want to get up and dance, we can do that in this moment, you know? I imagine, and I get people to visualize walking down this like corridor of light, because as we go through this whole thing, light is coming in more and more. So, you're releasing it, like letting it go, shaking it off. And before the rise, there is a moment of surrender because you're stepping into a new level where you're not operating from this lie anymore. You're operating from the truth of what you found within you. And it's going to be different, and you're not going to know exactly where you're going. It's going to be greater than you can imagine, I can assure you, but you won't exactly know. You just got to take each lit up step as you go, and the way will be revealed. And this is really powerful because, it like other people have touched on, we let go of that control and step into creation. I love that, Margarita. I love that shift from control to creation because that's what it is. And creation is not like something you can really plan. As much as I try to plan it, being a writer, I always like have an outline for what I'm going to do. But when you go into it, it's going to shift and move, right? And it's that flow with divinity, with source, with I call it God, but it's that flow of never being alone in what you're doing, even if it is like you're physically doing it alone. You're always with your divine source, So you step into this rising moment of surrender, having gone through all the moments and movements and declare, and I have people do a declaration of like I would say Stephanie Ryan Brandolini, no longer operate from this lie that was exposed. I'm operating from this truth. And that's where we seal it with the words, seal it with that feeling of rising in surrender because that's the true power to really be surrendered to life, to flow, but have that intention. Like you have your intention and you're going to keep going through with that beauty of intention, and life is going to happen for you and around you. Sometimes it might not feel like it. Sometimes it might be rocky and all that stuff, but it is all for you. The fear is for you, and it can be the most powerful fuel when you have a tool like this to walk through the moments and movements to find it. So that's a brief overview of the fur experience. And my gift today is I'm offering a free 90-minute session with me to go over this more in detail, to really walk through with whatever part of you has been calling to you to rise to your next level. And I also have a guidebook that I'll be giving when you book your session. That you can bring to the session. We can kind of go through it. Being a writer, I always advocate for writing things down, so there's spots to write things down in it. And it's really beautiful, if I may say so myself. I put a lot of effort into working on it. And yeah, I'm just really excited to meet with whoever books the call and help you rewrite whatever fear is coming up and help you rise into your next level. Thank you very much, everyone. Oh, yes, and I get to pick the next person. I am going to pick. Well, I'm going to go through this. I know there was someone else that had to go. There was, I don't think she's still here anymore. Her name started with a J. So I'm going to pick my good friend Crystal Casey. Thanks, everyone. Oh, and I'll put my gift in the chat here.
Thank you, Stephanie. That was awesome. Thank you for sharing. I am Crystal Casey, and I am having quite an experience today, sitting here and listening to everybody. And stepping into the energy and the courage, because I do not feel that what I had prepared aligns with what all of you guys are talking about today. So I had this fear to run. We're not going to run. We're going to stay, and we're going to talk, and we're going to work through this. So I want to talk about freedom and wealth in your business. And this comes to me from watching other coaches and leaders out there talking about chasing wealth, talking about the lavishness of things. And the way that it's presented is very materialistic. It's very, chase the private jet, the big house, the rooftop parties, and popping champagne in the back of limos. But for me, that's not what I dream of. That's not what wealth looks like for me. And so what I teach is how to find healthy wealth that is aligned with you and your life and your purpose, and creating that in your business. And to me, the most coveted thing that I want is time. It's time and connection to be the mom that I need to be. And for those of you who don't know me, again, my name is Crystal Casey, and as a widowed mom of 5 who runs her own business, I know what it's like to juggle all of the things: the calendar, the home life, making sure that you still have sanity in the midst of all of the chaos, and just trying not to lose yourself in the madness of everything. And I also know what is possible when you align your life with your business in a way that takes the weight of doing it all off of your shoulders. And that's what I do. That's what I teach. I teach visionary solopreneurs how to organize, how to operate, and how to automate their business so that they have time for what matters most, whether it's themselves, whether it's their family, whether it's their clients. We need to be able to set up our businesses in a way that takes the weight off of us. One night I was tucking in my little girl to bed, and she asked if I was coming to her next lunch on the lawn. For those of you who don't know, lunch on the lawn is this little thing where your grown-ups come to school, maybe they bring a special treat and you eat lunch with the kids. It's really not that big of a deal, right? But it's one of those little things that when you walk in and your kid sees you, their eyes light up and they get so excited. And those are the moments that I live for. And those are the moments that I had to keep saying, sorry, I have to work. Sorry, I can't. I'm busy. I have a call. I have to get this done. I have to do that. And of course, my answer to her was, sorry, I have to work. I can't make it. And she just kind of huffed and puffed and rolled over. And she's like, you always have to work. Cue the mom guilt. I wanted to defend myself, but she was right. I was saying that more and more and more, and I was hating it. But the realization hit me between the eyes. I was the problem. It was hard because I knew I was doing my best to just take care of them, to take care of the house, to make sure that the bills were taken care of, just do all of the things. But she was right. Here I was working so hard for my family that I was missing out on the one thing that mattered the most: my connection with them, my presence, my time with them. So that night became the line in the sand for me. And I decided that I was going to design freedom and stop chasing it. I was going to set up my business in a way that aligned with my life so that I could truly be present for what I needed to be present for. And so I started looking around at what other people were doing, and not the ones who were being ostentatious about their wealth, but about the ones who were truly happy and living out their purpose. And what I noticed is that they weren't reacting in their business. They had systems. They had things in place, excuse me, to help them create time. And so that was the first lie I had to unlearn, is that I didn't have time to set up my business in a way that it could operate on its own. I didn't have time to do that. But the truth is, once you do that, once you set those systems into place, you create your time. You see, most entrepreneurs are running everything from their mind, from memory. We're all holding it within our bodies, within ourselves. But carrying every detail, every task, every deadline, every to-do list, it's exhausting. So my first tip that I tell everyone to do, and I do this every single day, is to do a brain dump. Get it all out of your head and put it down onto paper or onto a screen if you're a digital girly like me. Studies show that when you get things out of your head and onto paper, it's actually releasing tension from your brain. It's physically opening up mental bandwidth so that you can focus again. It's called cognitive offloading. So once you have your list and you have everything written down, I want you to go back to it and then sort it in a way that makes sense for you. For me, it's home, business, and self. Because pro tip, self-care is the ultimate business strategy, but that's another talk for another day. When I did this and I got everything out and I put it all on paper, I was able to see why I was so exhausted. It felt lighter once it was out, not like it was overwhelming and holding me down, but once it was out and I could see it all, I felt like I could actually start tackling things one at a time. Because here's something that nobody ever told me, but I discovered, is that scattered energy will never create sustainable success. When your energy is scattered, your business is scattered. When your energy is aligned, everything flows. Like they were talking about earlier, like with water, everything flows. Your time, your focus, your leads, your impact, your income. You need one aligned ecosystem where everything fits together. And that is the next step that I teach all of my clients, is that you need one space that is like your second brain, but one that is organized and never forgets, which again, we go back to writing it down. So this is where all of your sticky notes, all of your scattered tasks, all of your million notebooks that you have all of these different things written down in, we pull them all together into one place so that all of the moving parts of your business move together in one aligned ecosystem. And when everything starts to flow, you get to let go, which again, we've talked about before, but this is step 3 and so important. And often the hardest for people is letting go. For the longest time, and how many of you still believe this, I used to think that if I didn't do something, it wouldn't get done, or it wouldn't get done right. So here's the truth. Freedom happens when you build systems and support, whether through automation or delegation, that give you that freedom. So every single process in your business should be written out in a way that somebody else can do it. And this doesn't mean that you have to write down 100% of everything that you do, but in order to take yourself out of the weeds, you have to be able to hand things over. And if somebody was to come into your business right now and step in to do your job, could they? Is there something that they could pick up and know exactly what to do? The answer for most entrepreneurs is no. So here's your challenge, is to go back to that list that you brain dumped. Look at the business section and pick one task that drains you. Something that you've done more than twice, something that is essential for moving your business forward. Then I want you to write down the steps, and not every single step. You only need the 20% that is going to get you 80% of the way, because 100% is perfection, and we're not chasing perfection. We're chasing progress. We're chasing what is going to move the needle forward. Then you're going to automate it or hand it off. And for the first time in a long time, you'll get to be like me and breathe. And instead of saying, sorry, I can't make it, you'll get to say, yeah, babe, I'll be there. And it's the best feeling ever. So let's just take a second to breathe this all in together. Because if you walk away from this moment with nothing else, I just need you to know you do have time. Your energy makes a difference. And you don't have to do it all yourself. I know what it feels like to be buried under the noise with 100 different tabs open, 5 different ideas running through your head, no clear system or container to hold it all. But remember, freedom doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. If you're ready to start designing your own version of freedom, I have a gift for you. It is my quick start guide to getting your time back. It's a simple tool that helps you to organize, operate, and optimize your business so that you can build success that actually feels like freedom instead of fatigue. I'm going to drop that link in the chat for you. It's crystalcasey.com/gift, because you don't have to chase freedom anymore. You get to live it. You get to create it by design. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. That was powerful. I'm sure it's going to support many of us. Who do you choose to go next?
I choose Claudia next.
Fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Crystal. And thank you, Edith, for having me. And thank you to everybody who's just spoken before me. I think there are so many overlaps in a lot of the things that we're all talking about and we want to talk about today. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Claudia Molnar, and I'm the founder of Clear for Clarity coaching services, and I'm based in Hungary. And what I would like to talk to you about today are 2 things, really. One is grief, and one is silence as medicine. So grief and grieving are not the same thing. And quite often we think about grief as being associated to a loved one and loss, but actually we grieve lots and lots of things, and we often grieve our own identities. And we've heard a lot already today from all these wonderful women in the house about release and letting things go. And it's not always easy to let things go. And sometimes some of the things we let go, we need to process and we need to grieve and we need to allow ourselves to grieve. And I have an experience of this myself. I spent 30 years in educational leadership and management and training educationists and leaders in public speaking, presentation, and a range of other topics, but predominantly about finding their voice, finding their confidence, and finding their place. And when I got to a point in my journey where I was very successful in my career, I still had this nagging voice in my head that I think it was Daniela mentioned before, of something not quite being right, something missing. And I realized that I'm still carrying imposter syndrome. And I'm really curious whether any of you here watching can say, hand on heart, you know what? I had imposter syndrome, or I have imposter syndrome. I don't feel like I belong here. And I realized that I was going through all these stages of building my career. I was working as a senior management in a senior management position, and still feeling like a charlatan. And I really didn't understand why was I feeling like a charlatan. I'm like, is it because I can't do this job 100%? Because if I give all of myself to my job, then I'm not going to be the mum that I need to be. But if I give everything to being a great mum, I can't do my leadership job. And then I can't be a great friend, and I can't be all the people that I need to be. I can't have it all. I can have it all. I'm a woman. I can have it all. I can do what I want. And just got into this perpetual cycle of can I, can't I, do I, don't I? And where does all of this come from? And so I made the decision to sit with myself and find out where all of this was coming from. And this is where I discovered the power of of silence as medicine. And this is the second thing I want to talk to, because when I found the power of silence as medicine, I realized the amount of grief that I was carrying. And a lot of that grief was to do with my own identity and having to release layers of my identity and having to release these beliefs of being a perfect mom, being a perfect leader, being a perfect friend, being a perfect daughter, and it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. And so one of the things that I often work with my clients, I set up a program called 28 Days to Clarity, and another program called the Grief Dialer, which the beautiful Margarita Rose once labeled me as, and I loved it so much that I named one of my programs after her. And what I like to do is I like to take my clients through stages of questions to find out where are these stories. So we've heard a lot of beautiful women talk about the lies we tell ourselves. You know, what are the lies we tell ourselves? What are the stories that we tell ourselves? And this is the first question, like, what are the stories that you are telling yourself? And what evidence do you have to support that story? Because I had all the evidence there. I was going up the ranks like a rocket. I was putting in the work. I was so disciplined in my work, in my career. Even my mum used to say to me, like, God, you're so disciplined in your work and you're, a real powerhouse. Can't you apply some of those skills to your personal life? And so like, no, that's separate. I can't, And of course you can, and you learn the lessons, but there's always a block. Like, why is the first response no? Because I had all of this evidence that I can have it all. I was raising 2 kids on my own. I own my own property. I was in senior management in education. None of this was easy to do. But I still felt like a charlatan, basically. So I had all this evidence. Okay, so what evidence do I have to support my belief that I'm not good enough? And where did that come from? And this is the most important question. Where does that evidence come from? And that seemed, for me personally, was an incredibly difficult question to answer. And it also seems to be quite a difficult question for many people to answer. And quite often, the answer to that question comes from paradigms that we've been locked into and energetic blocks that we hold in our bodies. And actually, 2 of the most powerful energy sources in the body, and not many people talk about it, are our ears and the chakras that sit within our ears and the messages that we receive on a daily basis. And quite often, those messages come from ourselves and our own voice, because it's our voice that we trust the most. And we've also heard people here talking about, empowering women's voices, empowering ourselves, because we listen to ourselves, and sometimes we are our own worst enemy. But other messages that come through from the womb, stories that we hear in the womb that we're not even aware of. And we often say there are so many things we don't know until we don't know that we know them. And quite often we're very unaware of the stories that we hear, the first things that we're told in our formative years. So the years between birth and 7 are often talked about when we talk about grief pathways and trauma pathways. Stories from our parents, stories that we hear, experiences that our parents or our caregivers tell us about their own lives, and they become a belief system within ourselves. I know for myself that my mum, she was running her own businesses. She was raising the family. For me, it was a belief that this was all so incredibly easy. It was all going to be easy. It all looked easy. And she hadn't had an easy life. But then, of course, some of these blockages come from our experiences and environmental blockages that sit around us. And so one of the things I do is I work with my clients to try and release these blockages. And I do this through a number of ways. And this can be through energy healing. This can be through questioning pathways. Margarita mentioned tapping. It's also something that I love to work with. And one of the things that I find incredibly helpful for myself and many of my clients is what I call the me time lifeline. And this is what I will give to you today. Later on is my me time lifetime, which will take you through stages of little tricks and little hacks that you can do to discover where your limiting beliefs are coming from, where these stories are coming from, how you can evidence and recognize the patterns that are showing up in your life, because quite often we fall into cycles of behavior that we're not aware of as well. And sometimes it can be as simple as just sitting in silence for 10 minutes at a time. Me, myself, I started off with what I call solitude Sundays. That can be a bit extreme for some people. But I love to spend time. And I often advise my clients also that if you're driving and you're going on a half an hour drive, try and do that without the radio, without listening to a podcast, without listening to anything. And quite often when I start sitting in silence with my clients will often say, the minute you tell me to be quiet, all of the noise comes into my head. And I say, that noise has always been there. You've just never been quiet enough to listen to it. And when we start sitting and listening to the noise and the messages that are in our head, we start seeing the patterns and the things that we're telling ourselves, the overthinking that we're carrying. We start seeing where that overthinking is coming from. What are these repeated thoughts that we're having? And then we start taking them apart. And Crystal just mentioned now about writing things down and keeping a paper trail of these. So journaling is one thing I love to do also with my clients. And one of the things we start discovering is how silence is medicine for different people. Because for some people, 5 minutes a day can be enough. Some people need more. And so my gift to you is my 10 steps to me time lifetime and a 45-minute call where we will go through some of these questioning techniques and find out, where are these blockages sitting? Where are they coming from? What is the evidence you have for the stories that you tell yourself? And how can we find a pathway that will heal you in the way that suits you the most? So thank you very much indeed.
Powerful speech. Thank you so much, Claudia. Who would you like to choose to go next?
I'm just trying to see, because I can't see everybody. I see the people who have already been on. Has Daniela Troffin been yet? Daniela? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Hi.
Hey, Daniela, so please.
Hey, let's. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Edith, first of all, for having all of us here today. I appreciate you in impacting the world in so many ways, always, through your magazine, through inviting us. And thank you, the panel, for all the ladies, women that are leading this panel today. I am so grateful. I know most of you, so I'm just in gratitude for you being here today. My name is Daniela Trufen. I am a abundance master coach. And as I am known as the abundant master coach, as someone who grew up poor and with a scarcity mindset in Europe, I was born in Europe and grew up in America. I was from a family of 10, and I would always hear, we can't afford it. And I went on a journey to find out, what is it that some people live in poverty and some people live in wealth. I was always fascinating. How many of you here had thoughts of, we can't afford it, or you heard some beliefs in your life, like from someone in your life that said, we cannot afford it? Right? A lot of us, when we were younger, we grew up around scarcity mindset. And on my journey to discover, how can I shift not just me, my family, but other women's lives? So once I discover how, I went on a path, and today I am supporting other women to shift their mindset from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. And for that, I created a framework, and it's very easy to remember. It has 2 words: go wealthy. It's an acronym, so we'll go one by one. And if you guys there will be some questions for each of the letter. So G is for gratitude. Every day, wake up and be in gratitude before you even start the day. What are you grateful for that you already have? Not what you want, what you already have. What I start with is, I'm grateful for my breath. I'm grateful for my family. I am grateful for everything that I already have in this moment. Not what you want, what you have. Because when you're grateful, you get more of what you want. Letter O is be open to possibilities. How many of us think there is nothing is possible out there? I get to live in a scarcity mindset. But possibilities, there's an endless amount of possibility that already exist. So when you open and ask yourself, what else is possible for my life, for my family? What else can I do? Possibility and opportunities start opening up for you. The W stands for worthiness. Worthiness. Do you believe you are worthy? A lot of us believe that we're not worthy. We're not worthy of having abundance. We're not worthy of having the great relationship. So the W stands for the worthiness that's already inside of you. You don't need to do anything to be worthy. We are already worthy. When we were born worthy. E, expansion. What else can you do to expand your possibility and your opportunities in this world? One of the things, all of us as speakers, we connect with other people that connect with other people. We step into rooms like this where we support each other and raise each other up. So that's expansion of your mind, expansion of what else is possible around me. Who else can I connect with? Alignment. A stands for alignment. When I am aligned with who I truly am, what I think, what I say, and what I do is in alignment. This is so important because I think Crystal mentioned that when we're out of alignment, nothing is working. You got to think and say and do. It's called like congruency. That's also in alignment. You're in alignment with who you are. L stands for love. First of all, self-love. You got to figure out how you can start loving yourself. A lot of us don't love ourselves. And then we think other people get to love us. First person that you get to love is you. When you align with your love, yourself, that's when you start expanding into loving other people. But you can't not love other people if you don't love yourself, because it's a mirror of whatever it's around you. It's not going to going inside. So first of all, go inside and love you. And the way you can do that is affirmation. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. I am proud of you. Every morning, take a few minutes and talk to yourself. And slowly, you're going to start loving yourself. T in the word wealthy is trust. Who else here has not trusted in themselves? Right? Like, we don't trust ourselves to do stuff. We don't trust ourselves to speak on a stage, as Stephanie said. We don't trust ourselves to start the business, to ask for the promotion, to be out there in the world. We always look at ourselves like, I don't think I'm worthy. I don't think I can do it. So we don't trust ourselves. So when you start trusting yourself, you also start trusting people around you. So trust yourself and trust others. It's the letter T. H is for happiness. A lot of us are looking for happiness out there. It's like somewhere else. There is nothing out there. Nothing is happening out of yourself. Everything is happening inside of you. Happiness, as you guys know, it's an inside job. We got to be happy for ourselves. Nobody out there can make us happy. And the letter U stands for you. You are the most important human on this planet. And then when you practice gratitude and when you're open to possibilities and you know your worth and you align with who you truly are, love will find you, trust will come, happiness will be discovered inside of you, and you will live an abundant life. That is my formula for Go Wealthy. And my gift for today I'll put it in the chat, will be a meditation on abundance. I recorded a meditation and you guys can listen on repeat, and I will put it in the chat. Thank you for this time.
Thank you, Daniela. That was powerful and inspirational.
Thank you.
Wealthy, everybody. And time's up. Fantastic. Who
I get to use the fills up.
Yeah, let's go,
Fills up.
Elsa.
Hello, everyone. So good to be here with such an amazing leaders. Thank you, Edith, for having me here, for giving us this opportunity. So I'm Filza Jabi. I am parenting and leadership coach and ADHD expert. So today I'm going to talk about something which is not new, but we all want to know about it. Recently, I have been working on my program, which is a focusing forward formula. How can we focus forward in our life, and what is it all about? So I've discovered that focusing forward means being in the present moment. Most of the time I've experienced, including me, we are leading our life either from the past, carrying the baggages on us. We always think about the missed opportunities, the traumas, the feelings. We are carrying it with us, and we are unable to focus in the moment we have. Or else, sometime we are focusing in the future. Like we are thinking what's going to happen, what wrong can happen. So leading life with fear. And that is also taking away our attention. And as an individual, we all are showing up differently. We all have our different formula to stay focused in our life. So I have built a program. So I want to talk a little bit about it. What's important in knowing what is my formula to stay focused in the moment, to be present, to embrace each and every single moment, because human brain is not designed to do too many tasks at the time. It is designed to do one task in a moment. So if we are doing multitasking, we are fluctuating. We are not doing two tasks at a time. We are just going here and there and unable to stay focused, stay in the present moment. And it is the biggest tool to increase our attention span and be in the moment. Be it a business, relationship, studies, wherever you want to work on, you need to have the formula how to stay focused. Okay, so for that, I have discovered that we need to know ourselves. Knowing ourselves is not just knowing who we are, our personality style. Not only that, what is my age and stage, and what is the need now? And what are the unmet past need, which is calling, which is showing up through my behaviors, through my pattern, which is creating a loop in my life and not letting me be in the present moment, not letting me avail the opportunity which is in the present. So that's creating a trigger, which I call is a button, and pulling my attention away now is knowing myself. So there is a pattern showing up in each and every area of our life. We need to uncover that. We need to understand which developmental age and stage is calling you back, calling for your attention. Which developmental age is needing your love and presence. And if that underdeveloped neurons is showing up in your behavior right now, that will also leave you not focusing in the present moment, because as we are aging, our stage is also growing. Okay, so we need to understand that as a human being, we keep developing till the end of our life. We keep learning, we keep growing, we keep evolving. Okay, so to stay focused now, we need to understand what is calling me from backward, knowing and helping our brain into developing those neurons so that we can stand here powerfully. So that's the first stage, knowing ourselves. And the second stage is communicate with clarity. Communication is everywhere. How people are showing up, how opportunities are coming to me, how am I availing it, how am I receiving the feedback. Okay, everything is a part of communication. How much money I'm getting, how much clients I'm getting, how many people are trusting me. Communication is not only the word and the language and the body language. It's how we are walking our talk, how we are being in the world, how we are promising to be going forward, how much people can trust on me. So where is that gap getting created in my life, that I am unable to communicate my real purpose to the people around me, to my children, to my husband, to my partners, to my clients, everyone. My appearance, my way of being is already communicating a lot to them. It might take time. So I never say that it will happen in a moment or in a very few time. It might take time, because we all are dealing with our life. We all are dealing with our, buttons and triggers, but it can happen. It is possible. We need to understand which skill is missing right now to communicate clearly, to bend and rise according to the need of our partners, beginning from me. I need to understand what is my real need right now, and how can I communicate effectively to my partner? What do they want to listen? What are the skills I need to develop right now to move forward? So for that, we need to understand the missing skill. And the third part is momentum over motivation. Motivation for me is a myth. It's like a spark and it will go away. What keeps us going is momentum. And what is that momentum? The hidden reality is our habit. Our habit is keeping us going. It's something which is already happening. Today, one of my partner, I won't say client, I always call everyone my partners. She said that recently I've discovered that I have no habits. I don't even want to brush my teeth on my own unless it's showing up yellow out there in the mirror. So I don't have any habit. And how can that be? It's not possible. We are actually in momentum. We have the habit of not doing it in a right way. So it's all about transforming all your habit, which is going to work for you and for your partners around you, because they are waiting to receive your info. So I built this 3-phase program where you know yourself, communicate with clarity, and create momentum in your life. And then there's always a next stage, These are the basic steps which I find which is very important for all of us to stay focused. As I was working with a lot of ADHD parents, ADHD kids parents, what I have discovered that before the child, every parent is struggling. So it's kind of mirror. The children are communicating their parents' need through their behavior. They're calling for help for their parents. Like, help my parents there. So from there, I got the idea to build the program for adults. And in that journey, I built this program. So I just want to say all of you that you all are so powerful. I was just receiving a lot. This is a room full of leaders, abundant leaders. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. And I would like to keep coming in this kind of panel. So if you want to maintain your focus in attention, focus now. This is the moment we have got. This is the moment we need to work on, and the future is already created. You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to think about it. And say thank you to all those baggages. As Daniela said, the gratitude, say thank you. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for uplifting me and giving me the courage to be in the present moment right now. And that is it. You're already successful. You are in abundance. You are the abundance, as Daniela said. Thank you so much. So I would like to offer a one-on-one call free with me. I will share the link here. Whoever wants to come and communicate with me and know what is their focusing forward formula can come and dive deep in with me. Thank you so much. I would like to pass it on to Aarti ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Filza. It was amazing hearing you and your story, the reason behind why you have created program for parents. It's really wonderful what you have done. And thank you, Edith, for having me here on this platform and giving me the opportunity to talk about less spoken but very important aspect of a woman's life among this aspiring community. So before I start and I introduce myself, may I request you all to please close your eyes for a while? Just close your eyes and think of a woman you admire most. She could be your colleague, your friend, your mother, or even yourself. Now imagine she smiles at you in a conference room. But what you don't see is the invisible load she's carrying. The load of painful periods, the stress of delayed periods, the fatigue during perimenopausal phase, and the fear of heavy bleeding. Now I would request you to please open your eyes gently. I hope you all could feel these emotional loads. Yes? Yes. In my last 7 years of work in the field of menstrual health, some of the most common phrases what I have heard was, I thought this was normal. I have assumed this is my fate. I have accepted that my calendar has less number of days in comparison to others. Such kind of statements actually shook me from deep inside to go deeper and deeper into the field of women's health, especially the menstrual health. Many of you would have noticed that if you have any kind of menstrual disorder, you are bound to gain weight, and if you are overweight, there are high likely chances that you have some or the other kind of menstrual disorder. So to break this vicious cycle and to manage your menstrual health, your periods health and weight naturally without any medicines, I have come up with a program called Break the Cycle. Okay. Now, this program has 4 main pillars. And the first one is yoga, which is why I have exclusive yogic techniques for different menstrual disorders. In yoga, if we talk about, it's not only asanas, we are talking about lot many breathing techniques, lot many meditations we have. And along with that, we have mudras, bandhas, kriyas, which will actually detoxify your body from tip of your head to tip of your toe. So those techniques not only works at the physical level, but at Panchkosha level, if we talk about, it goes much deeper and deeper and deeper, because this human body consists of 5 layers. So we find the root cause and then we dig deeper and deeper so that the healing could happen right from the roots, not at the superficial level. And the second pillar is food. In food, I not only talk about what to eat and what not to eat, but how to eat, when to eat, and what emotions you should carry at the time when you are consuming food. Because sorry to say, but most of the time, we are just gulping the food. We are not eating food properly. Okay. And the third is sleep, because sleep also plays very crucial role in healing your hormonal health, in regularizing your hormonal health. It repairs your wear and tear. So it's much important to pay attention to your sleep. And there are kind of meditations included to improve your sleep pattern in such a way that 20 minutes of that meditation will give you the advantage or the benefits as if you have entered in deep sleep for 4 to 5 hours. Because if a human being is sleeping for 8 to 10 hours, then hardly for 1 to 1.5 hours we enter in deep sleep. It is scientifically proven. But in these 20 minutes, you will get benefits of entering into deep sleep for 4 to 5 hours. So like this, there are various techniques. And the fourth one is social connect. We come in contact with many people, but not everyone with whom we connect is good for our mental health. Whether we are sitting at home or we are in office, but we have to be with them in the midst of all this chaos. So how can we keep ourselves calm in the midst of all these chaos and deal with that person? So these are the 4 main pillars. Now, with all these more than 1,000 success stories, their stories remind me that when a single woman stands, it's not only that woman, all the people around her excels. So like Daniela mentioned earlier, that a woman not only lifts herself, but to all the women who surrounds her, right? This is the power of womanhood. So I would introduce myself. I'm Aarti Dangi, menstrual health therapist and the founder of Yoga Heart, mother of 2 teenager boys and a wife of a loving husband. The work I'm doing is not theoretical, it's transformational. So you can say I have watched women go from I can't to watch me. So this is how the journey is, because this is not just moving from point A to point B, but the journey of transformation it is. My mission doesn't just stop by reducing your pain or symptoms. It's about building culture where women don't apologize for being born as a girl, where no girl grows up thinking her periods are a burden on her, where workplaces celebrated cyclic wisdom as a source of deep renewable power. So I would request each one of you, dear panelists, who are already contributing in the field of women empowerment, to help me in spreading this awareness on menstrual health, breaking certain myths, spreading certain natural remedies to solve menstrual disorders, so that every woman should have more number of productive days in their calendar. Given time window is actually too small to talk about this critical topic. So I'm open to collaborate with you all, or if anyone is willing to experience the benefits of yoga and AHA in their menstrual health, please message me on my LinkedIn account. I'll share that link with you. I'll revert with my earliest possibility. Along with that, I'll share my ID as well, email ID as well. So I have a request. When you message me, please mention that you have heard me in Edith's session. So, and I'll reply as early as possible. But before I move forward, we move on to the next speaker. I would request you to go back to the same women again with which you have started, with whom you have started. You have pictured in the beginning. The one who was carrying invisible burden. Promise her right now that you will see her, support her, and celebrate her strength in business, in body, and in being herself. Promise her that together we will end this silence, because even when one woman thrives, we all move one step forward. So I would like to thank you, Edith, again, and my best wishes to all my fellow panelists for your initiative, wonderful initiatives and contribution towards women empowerment. Thank you. And the next speaker, Lorna.
Thank you. Hello, ladies. Happy Sunday if you are in the US. I know a lot of you are not here, so it may be Monday where you are. Edith, thank you so much for always creating an amazing event and inviting such powerful leaders to the stage. Ladies, you all have blown my mind today. And I felt like you are all my mirror. So I'm looking at my talk and I'm going, okay, that's in there, that's in there, that's in there. So this is great that I'm actually the last one to present today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lorna Sherland. I am the CEO of Accelerate Her. I'm a business coach, business strategist, and transformation leadership coach. And I'm also a real estate broker and a bunch of other things. You know, I'm sure every one of you here are serial entrepreneurs just like me. And I love how I think it was, I forgot which lady talked about the focus, right? It was Filsa. Filsa talked about focus. I so loved what you talked about because being in the present moment is where the juice is at, right? So just learning how to do that. And I think it was let me see, the lady who talked about the power of silence. I'm here to close the loop on this entire thing, right? That's why I'm last, right? And I'm going to go into my talk in a minute, but I just want to ground for us what has happened here today. That it was so synergetical. I don't want you guys to miss it. I don't want you guys to miss it. You got to take this all in and really focus on everything that was said. Another word that came up, and you're going to hear it in my talk as well, was alignment. When stuff isn't aligned, nothing works. So if anything isn't working in your business and your life right now, consider where the gap is in alignment. You know, we're talking about here today business, finance, and relationship. And one of the things I want to say to you is that none of it is separate. It's all connected. It's all connected. And as Margarita said earlier, how we do one thing is how we do everything. So if you're doing one thing somewhere, you may think it's not happening in somewhere else in your life, but it is. It's all energy. Money is energy. Relationships are energy. Finances are energy, right? Your business is energy. Everything is energy. Energy is a transference of value. So here's what I want to ask you guys. What is your highest value? My offer for you today is going to be a call to figure that out if you don't know what that is. Most people, when people come to me for coaching and I ask them, one of the things I ask them first is, what's your vision? What's your highest value? They can't tell me because nobody has ever asked them that before. And most of us are operating in values that have been put on us, not our own. We haven't developed our own value system. We've been operating in value systems from church and religion and school, and none of that is wrong. But I'm inviting you, when we talk about women empowerment, I'm now inviting you to empower yourself, to go within and ask yourself those questions. What is my highest value? The young lady who talked about her daughter and asking her daughter asked her if she was coming to the game, and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta work." Her highest value was her daughter and spending time in connection with her daughter. That's why she created a business that supported a life so that she could be with her daughter. But most of us don't spend enough time. We're all so busy. Busy, busy, busy. Busy doesn't help us to figure out who we are authentically. And the quicker we spend the time to do that, I know for me, that's an ongoing thing. I do that every single day. I gotta look at myself and say, okay, what's working, what's not working? And I gotta stop and say, how do I shift this? What's the cause? There are some laws in the world that started way before we showed up. And one of the most important ones, I want you to write this one down. The law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect. We are the cause. Everything starts with us, right? So I don't have a framework for you today because a lot of you gave frameworks and those are beautiful. I just want to really share with you that the best framework you can start with is to figure you out. You know how we talk about start with end in mind? Who do you want to be in the world? And you got to literally engineer yourself backwards. If you're a coach, I am sure that's how you start with your clients, right? That's like starting with the vision, right? You want to see where you want to be and then work it all the way back. And as you work it back, you are developing yourself, who you've already been, who you came here as. You've just forgotten. Somebody mentioned that earlier today too. You simply forgotten because you came here knowing what you came here for. But we've been taught and programmed out of it. Now the journey is for us to get back to it so that we can help other people along the way. That's the game, guys. That's the game. You know, I have a client who I want to share the story with you about a client who came to me. He's a successful entrepreneur, successful. He was helping multi-billion-dollar companies to make more money. And then that came to an end. Then he lost himself. He couldn't figure out what he wanted to do. The one thing he knew he wanted to do was write a book to tell the story, right? And for years, he couldn't write the book. And when he came to me, I said to him, well, who are you? And why does it matter? He couldn't answer that question either, which is why we started to work together. And pretty soon, he settled in, and a book that was taking him over 5 years to write, he started writing the outline because he took the time to find out exactly who he is, who he wanted to be, and figured out the in-between was writing that book. So that book took him 8 months from outline to launch. From outline to launch, 8 months. Now he got support, and we all get to have support. So remember that. No lone wolfing. Lone wolfing doesn't work. And I know we fall back into it. Sometimes I do. We fall back into lone wolfing. That doesn't work. The key is to get out of that, get the support, and get back on track, and things will happen faster. Again, we talk about alignment. For him to have gone from thinking about it, saying he was going to do it, setting the goal, not completing. By the way, y'all, as I was coming in here to talk to you guys today, I found a statistic that said, it was a Harvard statistics that said 92% of people never achieve the goal that they set. Imagine that. Let that sink in. 92% of people never achieve the goal that they set. So that means only 8% of people actually get to the finish line. Think about that. Think about why that happens. So if we don't really take the time to figure out where we want to be and what the impact we want to leave in this planet, I'm about to go into tears right now. This is so powerful because if we don't come into our own authenticity, guys, we're in trouble. And I'm going to empower you all to be inspired. Inspired means you go inside and figure out who you are and what you're bringing to this world so that other people can have permission to do the same thing. And when we do that, we will change the consciousness of this planet. And when we do that, all the politics, all the economic stress, all that will shift, all of it, because we are all one. We just have to figure that out. I know I said a lot in less than 10 minutes, but I wanted to bring the awareness to you guys. Everything everybody said here matters. Everything everybody said here matters. It's all a part of the puzzle. We just get to be really clear on who we get to be in order for us to have this shift happen. My gift for you today is a gift that I always give out to entrepreneurs, because most entrepreneurs who have been successful get plateaued at some point because they forgot who they are and they didn't take the time to figure out who they want to be. So my gift is to support that, to get back to your authenticity through 7 strategies to unlock you being in plateaued state. I'll leave that for you. And for anyone who wants to hop on a call with me, I am more than happy to also throw that in there. And I'll leave my calendar link if you want to jump on a call. And we can talk about what your values are, how to find them. It's a 45-minute process to figure out what your highest value is. That's what I do with my coaching clients. And I'm more than happy to support you leaders to do that. Okay. Thank you so much, Edith. Thank you all for your shares today. And I wish you much success moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lorna. So many aha moments, and thank you for empowering and inspiring us all. Who would you like to choose?
Oh, okay.
You've got Jasmine and myself. I'll
Oh,
choose.
I didn't know you were talking. My bad.
I'll choose to go last. So go ahead and Jasmine.
Jasmina.
Yeah.
Jasmina's after you, Edith. You can go ahead. She said you can go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Let me. Not often I do that. Spotlight myself. Hello, welcome everyone. Oh wow, I am in awe. What I have experienced and what I've heard. I've learned so much, and most of us are really good friends and powerful leaders in transformational leadership. And you've been amazing. You've been truly amazing. Thank you so much. So a quick story about myself. And the reason I chose to create Courage Magazine and Empress Media as a brand to support other women stepping into power and courage. I had a really massive fear of public speaking, and I had a dream at 22 years old, mother of one at that time, that I really wanted to start business, and I didn't know how to start it. I didn't know where to get support. I had no idea how do I do it, and I chose to be mother and work in a corporate world. And now, for the last 4 years, I've been a business owner, founder of Empress Media Brand Leadership Creative Agency. I help driven women entrepreneurs create humanity-centered brands, that the brands that would attract high-value clients with ease, resulting in financial flow. And my experience of utilizing the 26 years of experience and share my experience in advertising, marketing, and branding design for corporate giants. I take that experience and apply this for businesses that are female-led, that they can create financial results, growing their business and impact in the world. Yes, I did win awards. Some of them is like a portfolio award, marketing project award in corporate life, recognition award in cultivating customer intimacy. I am also a publisher of Courage Magazine Global, inspirational magazine for women in business, providing guidance and visibility for those who are making a positive impact in the world. I am also a transformational leadership coach and mentor, international speaker since last year, and I am on a mission to support women stepping into their power and courage and coming out and supporting other women, other entrepreneurs to be powerful, authentic self. And of course, I am a mother of 3 clever and ambitious children who are very passionate about their lives, and I'm a wife of a husband who's been my rock for the last 26 years. So I can definitely support anyone with relationships. But today I really wanted to support you with creating a brand, because what I know is when women rise together into their full potential, they don't just transform their businesses, they transform communities and their industries and ultimately their future. So let me ask you something. How many of you have ever felt invisible in your own industry? Raise your hand. Yep. No matter how hard some people try, their voice isn't truly being heard. You may be putting yourself out there, but it's not really translating into clients and opportunities, and not bringing in the financial success that you know and you truly deserve. I know that. I get it. I've worked with so many brilliant women, driven, purpose-driven, who have lots of skill, passion, vision, but their brand is not really speaking for them. And sometimes it's repelling the clients that they are truly meant to have. The truth is that in today's world, a strong brand isn't optional. It's essential. And I don't know, I'm not speaking about just a logo or colorful website or images. I mean a magnetic personal brand that makes people trust you, remember you, and choose you over anybody else. In reality, people don't buy products or services, they buy into you, into your emotions, into your courage, your power. That's why creating or getting the clarity of your brand is so powerful, because many of my clients say, like, after they completed the program with myself, they say, oh, it was another experience, a transformational experience, because I never knew myself to that level. I never thought that it's possible to dig what do I want and who am I helping and what are the problems that people are really having, because not often we ask those questions. So today I wanted to talk about 3 mistakes I see women holding back from creating an authentic brand. Mistake number 1, trying to be everything for everyone. You are multi-passionate, you wear many hats, you juggle a lot of things, you help everyone because you are a supportive soul and you want to help everybody. The truth is, your brand should attract the right people and repel the rest. You're not meant to serve everybody. That's what creates clarity, consistency, and authority in your business. Mistake number 2, botched branding without a clear strategy. Too many women spend endless hours rebranding, changing colors, tweaking in Canva templates without a real plan. But branding is not about looking pretty. It's about positioning yourself and communicating your value. Lorna was talking about value. How are you communicating that value for others and attract the right clients authentically? And mistake number 3, fear of visibility. So that was me. I didn't want people to look at me, see me in my messiness, see me unprepared, see me struggling to get my words out. How many of you have ever hesitated to show up online because you feared of judgment, you feared, what they're gonna say, what if I'm gonna say something wrong? Oh, I feel like a fraud. I feel like I shouldn't be here, like Carrie said. I'm not ready. The truth is, your people are already looking for you. But if you don't confidently show up in your own space, someone else will. Someone who is less qualified than you is going to get those clients. Surely you would want your clients to choose you over somebody who is less qualified. The good news is every single one of these challenges can be solved. And I've spoken earlier about the creation of Brand Impact Mastery, which is a 12-week program that can support you in creating a brand, authentic brand, and give you clarity of your brand identity and messaging in the space of 12 weeks. It is an immersive program for female entrepreneurs ready to go from confused and invisible to confident and in demand. And yes, you will get coaching, strategy, community support, and you will craft your cohesive presence that builds trust and credibility. So, because I believe in action, I've added some incredible bonuses. The doors are open today, and I'm adding personal brand audit, so you know exactly where to start and where you're going. Media exposure in Courage Magazine Global and on events like those, and emotional branding and impact masterclass. So I will pop the link in below. Let me know, because if you tried many things and you're still feeling stuck, that might be the answer, that you get clarity of what is your brand about and who you're speaking to, and how are you going to communicate your value through aligned messaging. And I will pop the link to meet up with me before anything else. I will just pop that there, and feel free to connect with me and have a 90-minute session of brand clarity first, and we can get to know each other, connect, and learn about what's stopping you to be authentic self and creating the brand that you truly are. Thank you so much for the generosity of this room, and so much support. And now I would like to call on the final speaker, Jasmine. Jasmine, are you there?
I'm here.
Fabulous. Hey, lovely to see you.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, checking in. I'm so grateful to be here with everybody. I was in a PhD 9 program with Edith and got to know her through leadership programs. I'm immensely grateful for her. She had shared this story one time a while back that of how she was willing to run across the street with torn pantyhose for the love of her life. And I was like, that's my girl. It's like, whatever she's doing, I'm running right behind her with whatever socks, whatever, who cares? And so since then, I'm the current Mrs. Maui Filipina 2025. I'm the founder of Pure Wellness Love, and I have also been a chiropractor for 23 years. And before that, grew up in a household where my grandmother was healing every day. And I saw all these different forms of leadership. Not only was she the powerhouse, and she would receive and help people who were turned away by hospitals, told they had no other hope. And we saw miracle after miracle. She also had 9 daughters. So I had basically 9 moms growing up. And I know the power of women teaming up. It's also for this reason that I saw a glaring difference when I was in the pageant world, when sisters didn't always act like sisters, and it got competitive and combative. And truth is, that tore us all apart, because women working together is beautiful and magical and whole. And women tearing each other apart is tearing at your own heart. There is a sense of oneness. and beauty, and we feel each other. When I say anything harsh about anybody else, it hurts me just as much. So there's a tool that I'd like to share called Voting Victory. And it's where you see the win in the person that you are looking at. You don't see what's wrong, you see what's right, and you grow what's right. That's the same thing that I've seen in chiropractic. And after, yes, over 20 years and an advocate, I kept looking at all these individual, knots and locks in the spine that weren't working. And I was like, you know what? At the core, I can fix somebody over and over and over again. I said, it's not about me fixing, it's about helping the person feel. And the core of the posture is, is your heart in front of your head? Or is your head trying to lead? If your heart's in front of your head, then you've actually also awakened your higher mind, and you're vulnerable and you're sensing. My goal as a chiropractor, I learned over time, is more to help you embody your spirit and inspire your body. That's a union of the heart and head. And it takes trusting, knowing, and being willing to really see your environment and optimally adapt to your environment. It's not canned. It's not something you can prepare for. It's like, where are you now? And can you adapt and respond to your world? Like, a giraffe is not meant to swim. A fish is not meant to climb stairs, right? So you get to know your ability, know who you are, play on your wins. And I still remember meeting this owner of Esalen, and it's a very fancy retreat center in California. And he said he studied all his leaders, and he asked them, what's working now? These are leaders, multimillionaires, and like, what's working now? And he was surprised to hear that it was still affirmations above all else. And it was more about how people would affirm. So he said, for instance, this one gentleman was like, for instance, he said he kept trying to lose weight, and he's saying, I'm skinny, I'm lean, I'm whatever, but it wasn't until he said something that related to his body that something happened. So what he said and said, so first of all, I'd love for everyone to start affirming, and I'm going to teach you a specific way to affirm. Instead of saying, I'm skinny, what he said, he addressed what was bothering him most, which was this layer of fat around his waist. So what he said is like, fat burns off my body like butter in the sun. Can you see the difference in the affirmation? Fat burns off my body like butter in the sun. I'm like, so I can see it, I can feel it. Butter is melting in the sun. And then there's this other gentleman, just really quickly, he said that he was really clumsy on his ropes course, and he kept falling. And he said, I hate how clumsy I'm getting. How can I change? So he started walking his dog. He walks his dog, who's a puppy and fast and resilient. And he's like, I can jump around like my puppy. I'm as sweet and young and valiant and resilient as my puppy. A year later, he's running around the ropes course, and he was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I tell you this from my personal story too, because when I said yes to Miss Maui, I was in meditation. I was awakening my higher mind. We talked about meditation. In my specialty, I work with very wealthy entrepreneurs from around the world. So I get to hear their habits and what they do. So I'll share just a couple of things that I thought were really useful. I'll share my personal result. I heard in meditation that I was going to raise $300,000. And so you create space so wisdom can land. Carrie talked about, the mind, the body, the soul. You've heard a lot of reference to the soul. So in my studies, I've learned the mind can only process 40 bits of information per second. That's 40 bits of information per second. And like, that's a lot. That's a lot bigger than a phone number, right? That's a lot for a brain to actually handle. The body can handle 40 million bits of information per second. So when you're like, I don't know why, I just feel like this is it, right? You don't know why you picked your spouse. It's usually not because they answer some kind of data. And you can be in a dark alley and your body says run, and you're not going to wait to figure out why, right? You have to trust your body on that. But on a bigger level, just like I really aligned with Edith about knowing her husband, that's when soul wisdom like opens a massive door and you're about to turn a corner. And that's like when I heard I'm a chiropractor. And I knew it. And it's like you hear all your generations before you, you hear all your babies in the future, like, that's my dad. And you know who the person is. And that's like a soul destiny moment. So I'd like to help you have more of that. And I'm going to give you some quick tools. I'll show you, this is a visual that I used in aligning and growing, because I've seen entrepreneurs in all different stages in their business. And I'll share with you. First of all, I wanted to share really quickly the win. $300,000 did land. Now I have 3 homes and 3 cars, and I'm like, what? And I live in 3 places: California, Maui, and Canada. I have 3 homes. So things can shift like that. It's literally like going into a different door. It's like a different season. So I'd like to really gift you this new way of seeing. I have who loves trees and like the whole hugging trees thing, right? Because I just came from Napa and grew up in the Bay Area. I'd love for you to take out a piece of paper and pen and draw this out, because in rebuilding yourself or consciously choosing how you're going to grow your business, I've seen some very important parts to build, and you can choose different tools. I don't need for people to like chiropractic. You will grow in demand to the point where you're like, I don't even care if you pick me. I just care that you pick something that works, right? Because there's so much business, there's so much money, there's so much money talent, right? So just like when you go into spring, you can't pick the most beautiful flower. You're like, what's the one next to you? The one that smells good. There's so many you can't even pick, right? That's how abundant the world is. So looking at in your tools, and I ask you to take out a piece of paper and imagine you're a tree. And the first thing that you figure out is your trunk or your core. And that is values. What do you value? So for me, I value love. I value passion. I mean, I put butter on my bread. I like passion. I like tasting things, right? I like being really alive. What are your values? What do you value? And then I skip to the core, and from your core, you need roots. Your trunk, I always do start with a trunk, but below your trunk, you need roots. Like, what do you need to ground you? I'm like, I need food. I bring food with me all the time. I need good sleep. I need sunshine. Like, what do you need? So you draw the earth line and you're like, what do I need to ground me? Because truth is, you can only grow as much as you're willing to grow deep. There's lots of overreaching, and then you topple over and you're like, oh, we see that on Maui all the time. Like, not that the roots aren't deep enough, so you grow too big and you topple over. So you ask yourself, what are your roots? What do I need? What do I need to feel grounded? Is it organic food? Is it tea? Is it time with family? Is it I'm a woman. I love sleeping naked next to my lover and hugging him and kisses. That really feeds my soul in such a way that really heals my brain. And be real about it. What do I need? No one else has to see your piece of paper. And then what are your core values? And then from your core values, how are you going to branch out so other people know what your core values are? So I branch out my core values through a store, through a school, through events, through services, through a membership. That's how I'm choosing to branch out. And then the fruits of it are, what can somebody actually buy and eat? And that will also replenish. I was like, I tell my daughters, just wait, because and this is the example I give them. I said, because my seed doesn't taste very good. You can't eat a mango seed, and you can't eat trunk or branches or leaves. So you might as well wait until I'm in season. And then when I am in season, I have more than enough. So I share this because We've talked about visualization. I'm very visual. I like one piece of paper that says, I'm grounded, I'm standing in my values, I'm branching out, and this is going to be my fruit. And then you can see like fruit that's going to go over and over and over again. I am in a stage of my life, even as Miss Maui, where I'm already training a successor. It's not success without a successor. I am the successor of my grandmother. And I'm like, wow, I wish you would have taught me more. So I think about that with my kids. I was like, how well am I equipping my kids? How well am I equipping the next generation? How much do they understand my fire? And God knows it's just like telephones, where you're just like, I thought I told you this. Did I tell you this 20 times? I told you bring home butter. But so if you have to tell it 10 times, 20 times, in ways that like, what way are they going to hear it? And at the end of the day, is it success for them too? So I know that was rapid fire, but I share that especially for women because sometimes we scream at ourselves when we're in our winter and we're not in bloom. And it's just not your season. And it's okay. There's beauty to the winter too, to keeping warm in the winter, to keeping nourished in your winter. I wouldn't wear this on Maui. This would be extremely uncomfortable. I tell people, don't wear a mink coat in Hawaii and don't wear a bikini in the North Pole. Know where you're at and address it well and know your season and embrace it and you'll enjoy it. So that's my wisdom to share. We are in a very beautiful place in as far as Maui and my Maui Filipino community. We're in Filipino American History Month. Last days of Filipino American History Month of October. In America, we almost like make every month special. So, and we're also in breast, they call it, they say, I don't like saying the C word, but we're in Breast Health Awareness Month. So if you go to drjasmine.com, we're updating the site today. And we're actually going to I'm gifting my 5 pillars of pure wellness to end the month. And I'll be sharing my 5 pillars with other experts in Monday is health, Tuesday is wealth, Wednesday is personal development or education, Thursday is relationship and my grandfather's birthday, and Friday is spirit. So those are my 5 pillars of pure wellness. I'll be gifting every day this month, every day this week, 4 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Hawaii, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And I'll be reaching out to you ladies too to teach. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you. Gosh, this panel is full of stars. And Celine, it's so wonderful to see you too. Thank you. Fire. Let's go.
Thanks, Celine. Wow, and that completes our panel. So much energy, so much passion, love, connection in this room. I am so excited. So if anyone has a question or want to jump in for coaching, let us know. And yeah, ask away. Unmute and ask or pop your questions in the chat. Do you have any aha moments that you realize, oh wow, I have not been myself. Up until now I've been hiding, playing small. Stephanie.
Jasmine's still spotlit if you want to show the gallery, Edith.
I'm not complaining. I like seeing you, Jasmine. Well, yeah, this was amazing. And I was supposed to jump off earlier, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to switch my plans because I'm in this and it's amazing. So thank you all for sharing your energy and your gifts. Yeah. So, there's so many takeaways. I wrote down a ton of stuff and I have my tree that I created too. You can't really see it, but I don't know. I wrote my tree down. There's my tree. So one thing I did want to bring up that I think a lot of people have on here is being multi-passionate. Because I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I've got a lot of things I love to do and love to share. I have in my tool belt, but it is about like I'm in this phase right now of like refining my brand, my signature offer and what I really stand for. Because you can have these multiple things, but if you're leading with that, it is going to get confusing, right? And I'm not here to confuse anyone. So I just wanted to kind of bring that topic to the table of like being multi-passionate and like ways to really lead with what it is you're really your true, maybe not true value, but your main thing. Edith, we will talk about this tomorrow. I did book a call with you. But yeah, like for me, for example, like I know that my main gift and the thing I have most results in and what I'm most passionate about is writing and creating and helping people unearth their stories. And I know that my fear program goes with that because a lot of people are afraid to tell their story and like there's fear masking that. So that all goes together. But then I have a couple other streams that I do that I'm like, how do I really incorporate this all without being confusing?
Can you summarize the question?
How do you be multi-passionate and like lead with your main thing, but like still have the multi-passionate aspects in what you have to offer, you know?
Definitely. So, the way you get to get clarity what you are passionate the most first, and also focus out on your client, what your client wants, what they're struggling with. So yes, you are passionate and you can use all your passions to solve their problem. And yeah, once we go to the strategy, you will see and you will get clarity of what's the most important thing. How do you start? Where do you, from where you are at now, being multi-passionate, to where you want to be and who you want to support? Is that something
Yeah,
that,
no, that's gold right there. Focus on your clients and use your passions to solve their problems. You should just that should just be a logo right there.
yeah, it's not about us, it's about how we can support them.
Hmm.
Mm. I have some feedback too on that, like as far as seeing it done. And you can actually train your brain and start from seeing it done, visualize it done, like your actual end goal, that the outcome that you'd like. And then you ask your brain, okay, and then what, now that it's done, what happened first? And then what happened second? And then you can write out your marching orders based on it first seeing it done. So you're not going in different directions.
Yeah, your brain is so powerful and we sometimes forget to leverage it.
Yeah, I also would
Well,
like to add
if
something
I
to
could jump
that.
in real quick,
Yes.
Stephanie, so can I ask you a few questions, clarifying
Yeah.
questions? So what are the other pieces of businesses that you are involved in?
Yeah, so I do have a business that I'm running in the travel space, in crypto, and I do land banking and real estate development.
That's actually perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, seriously, it's all connected. Remember how I said it's all connected? It's all
Hmm.
connected. So what would it look like for you to, first of all, realize that it's all connected? And how does all those other things serve the main client that you're wanting to serve?
Hmm. Yeah, and it's funny, I do
Ask
know it's
yourself
all
that question,
connected.
right?
It's like, yeah, I do know it's all connected because otherwise it
Hmm.
wouldn't have come to me because a lot of things have
Hmm.
come to me. I've had to say no. So these are like the
Hmm.
main things. So yeah, like how does it all weave together? I kind of think of it as like, I meet with someone and I get to know them and ask questions. And it's like, depending on how they answer, it's like, oh, I have this or I have this and this. But like, it's more so listening to what people are saying, telling me that they need and being like, I have this in my tool belt, you know?
Yeah. So it's so from what I just heard you say, you actually just answered your own question in my mind.
Yeah,
Let
that
me know
tends
if
to
anybody else
happen when
heard
I
it.
talk it out.
I
Yeah, because you're listening for the client to hear what their needs are, right? That was the first answer that was given to you by Edith. Listen to the client and what their needs are. And then whatever their needs are, you create from there. A lot of times, what I've noticed in this space is that we create a lot of offers based on what we feel we can deliver and forget that it's all about what value we bring to the client, but also like matching that with what we love to do. And how one of the things I do with my clients is I think about strategically, if it's a client that needs something and I can support a part of what they need and then collaborate with somebody else who can deliver the other part of it, then that's another way to serve the client at a high level and still be involved in the solution. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love
Does that
that.
make
I mean,
sense?
yeah, for sure. I think that was the missing piece. Like, I mean, I didn't mean to be, but I was operating from like, okay, I'm good at this. How can I use what I'm good at to offer? But it's more about the kind of opposite of it. Like, and it's not such a shift. It's just, it's like I said in my fear program, it's like the opposite is usually what you need. Like operating from what your ideal client is needing and how do you match that? Not how do you, yeah, match what you're good at. Yeah, thank you for that.
I struggled for years with that thing because I'm everywhere. I have ideas, visions, plans, like 10,000 of books. But what I discovered for myself is like, first of all, bringing everything under one bundle in terms of all your inspiration. You get to bring it into like, this is a product, this is a product, this is a service, this is something, and you can puzzle piece everything together until you have one big overall thing. For me, for example, I am inspired by health, and I healed myself, and this is where I can go with people and support them in natural healing with food and vitamins and stuff like that. But on the other hand, I'm also a healer. And I also support people with developing their business and stuff like that. So I am all over the place. So what I did for myself in answering that question was, first of all, what is the main thing that I bring to the table that serves all the people that I want to inspire? And it started not to see who is my avatar or who is not. No, who am I today and who was I 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? And that journey, I said to myself, okay, in that journey, I became a different person. So I can serve all the people I was before. And in that, what is the version of myself that I lean in the most today? So that helped me to prioritize, because in each area of my life, I had a different topic, I had a different challenge, I had a different story, and I had to organize all these versions of myself in order to create clarity on where I had to go and who I had to focus on. And actually, every person that I was in the past was connected to a specific service or product. And that brought for me everything together in one angle. And that was leadership and Tantra. So for years, I've been a tantric healer, masseuse, health coach. Now I'm building a Joya village. So now I'm in real estate, and I'm talking with investors, and I was I was started with investment, so I could support people with that. And so every part of myself became one cluster of service. And that helped me to identify where I had to put my focus and what type of products of services that I could develop, leaning into who I was in my entrepreneurial journey. Maybe that inspires you to create clarity on that part. It served me.
Yeah, definitely. And it sounds like we have some similarities there because yeah, it does feel like all being all over the place, but it's like,
Yeah.
I want to do these things, but it's like, how do you really clarify and like, just because you have it to offer, it's like what is needed. I think that's what the missing piece is. Like
Double
what is needed.
down.
Thank you, ladies. Yes, fantastic. So we have 5 more minutes before we end this live. Does anybody else have question, problems, or something that landed with you? Let me know. Come off mute and participate. Michelle?
Jasmine had a question in there. Is she asking a question or she had the thing, what's right about what I'm not seeing? What the most leveraged use of my time, energy, and talent?
Yeah, these are the questions that you can ask yourself.
Okay, that's what she meant. I thought she was asking the question.
What's right?
I'm missing Jasmine's link in the chat.
I will, yeah. These are the supportive questions. Jasmine, would you like to pop a link in the chat so we can share it? I will be emailing everyone all the gifts that I've collected to send it over to those who signed up for this event. Yeah, fabulous. So Jasmine will update us. Emily, Michelle, Colleen, Donna, do you have any questions? Come off mute, come on camera. Be courageous.
I just wanted to say too, it was a blessing and honor being here, and I have definitely taken copious notes. And I think the biggest aha takeaway is to remember everything in small, bite-sized steps. Progress, small steps. What can you do today that is going to align and get you closer to your vision? And never compare yourself and your journey to others, as a reminder as well. And just be neutral about things that come up. How is this happening for me? And just stay grounded. And I love the analogy my buddy Jasmine uses all the time, how she incorporates nature and the rhythms. And it's true. Grounding yourself, even hugging a tree barefoot for 15 minutes, there's so much healing and inflammation that's reduced just in doing that. And so connecting with nature is also a powerful way to come home to yourself.
And I have, thank you, Margarita, for that. And I have a few words as parting words. And without even knowing each of us what we're going to talk about, like we brought in so many different aspects of transformation. Like I didn't even know what anybody was going to talk about. And we all brought in something. It was so perfectly generated in a way that it serves everyone that listens. And one of my favorite quotes is, live your life as if your life and everyone else's life around you matters, because it does. It's one of my favorites. And if you take that, live your every day as that your life and everybody else's matter. I'm complete.
Thank you, Daniela. Yeah, I have a saying, live your life like life others depends on it. And we cannot think of fear or ourselves and hiding. We get to be in support, be passionate about solving the problems that our clients have. And not only clients, but by going live, by inspiring others, we truly don't know what impact we are creating on every level, every time we step out of our comfort zone.
Edith, thank you for that. We do have a question. I see Donna's hand is up.
Yes, I see Donna. Donna, what's your question?
Actually, it's not a question. For those of you who know me, you know, like I'm never, hi, you know that I'm never lost for words, right? I'm like, oh, Miss Chatterbox. And I'm just so lost for words. I was like, so good, right? It was so empowering. I'm sitting here thinking, wow, we're powerhouses. Oh my gosh, it was
For
so
the
good. Thank
feedback.
you. Yeah, it was awesome. Everyone was so authentic and yeah, like the point is like I felt it. I felt like there was a shift and we were creating something. I mean, we've done these before, you know what I mean? But I don't know, it was different. That's all. I'm just I don't know what to say. That's really good. One thing that you reminded me of when you were talking, because you've always told me like your brand is not your logo, it's not your this, it's not your that, right? And I'm busy like creating another website, and all I've been thinking, oh, what's my logo? And I sent it to the designer, and he sent it back. I'm like, can you tweak it a little? And then so thank you for the reminder. It's not even about that. It's not about that. Yeah, thank you for that reminder.
It's about how you make people feel when they speak with you, how you are talking to others, how you are empowering them, you know. And yeah, it's so super powerful to get clarity of your own business and who you truly are. And you've gone through transformational leadership first step, and you know there is always more to create a transformation within your business and within yourself, because when we are up leveling ourselves, we are up leveling our clients, we are up leveling everybody around us, our families. I said at the beginning, when women are stepping up, we are impacting families, communities, and creating impact in the world. So we get to continue this.
And this was certainly a reminder of that. It was so impactful and powerful. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. And if you do want to connect with any of us, feel free to reach out, and I will be sending out all the info and the link to this live. Thank you so much, and thank you for our speakers. Thank you for your energy, your passion, your courage to show up here and be vulnerable and be yourself. Thank you. Have a amazing rest of your day, night, morning. We are international. So see you soon. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.